video. This time we're gonna be looking at actually what to look for when buying a used car. And as you can tell, it's a little chilly out here. It's not too bad though, to be honest. It's about 4 degrees Celsius. Sun's in and out. My car was covered in snow earlier today. So yeah, as the snow is melting, you know, we're gonna look at it. So yeah. Anyways, also, I do want to mention one thing too, that as you guys may have noticed, I did change the name of the channel. It is no longer just Katarina Lloyd, it is now Katarina's Garage, which also, I changed my Instagram to katarinas.garage as well. I will leave that in the description below, in case you guys forget, and if you guys want to follow me there as well. We'll be having similar content to YouTube, except for as well, there'll be pictures on there, compared to here where it'll just be videos, obviously, because I don't know how to do the pictures thing on YouTube. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's get into it. So, before you even look at a car for sale, there are a couple of things that you will want to consider, is looking at the ad for a car. Now, if you actually saw an ad for this, for example, and not just through word of mouth and stuff like that. And the thing is, there are a few telltale signs of somebody's either trying to hide something, or they just don't care, and they don't know how to write an ad, because there is both sides, right? And sometimes that does happen. But, for example, if pictures are rather sparse, and as well as information is rather sparse, but you message them and they won't really give you a clear answer, and like, you know, if you ask, you know, how's the engine, how's the transmission, does it shift okay, you know, do the brakes work just fine, are there any issues with it, you know, the typical stuff, right? And if they don't really answer that, and if you ask for more pictures and they don't provide that, unless it's like they've done super detailed pictures, then honestly it might be a car that they're hiding something, and that's something that you'll just have to figure out in the future. So yeah, and I've come across those people before. I was looking at buying a guy's car a little while ago, honestly. It was just like a few weeks ago. But honestly, he was more interested in me versus selling his car, and that was just freaking weird, you know, because welcome to being a female mechanic. So, with that in mind, let's get into it. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is, when you approach a car as well, and also bring somebody with you, even if they're not mechanically inclined. It's honestly nice to have more than one person there, because the thing is, they might spot something that you don't, because you might be talking to the owner, for example, and they might be checking out some of the other stuff too, or even vice versa, right? So it is a really good thing to have another person there, because the thing is, I have been to a couple of car deals with my dad, actually, and he was, the first one, it was the winter time, like it was late October, early November, yeah, late October, that's what it was. And so, we looked at this 99 Ram, which he had for a little over a year. Great truck, honestly. There was nothing really that wrong with it. It was just, you know, minor stuff. But the thing is, he wasn't checking everything. And so he checked the heat, but I wanted to check to see if the AC worked, because it was an air-conditioned equipped truck. So I turned that on, and it actually worked right away. So I was just like, okay, cool. So that means the AC does work in this thing. That's great. He wasn't even gonna bother checking on that, and it's like, okay. And as well, like when we went to go look at the Magnum that he owns now, there was a couple of things he wasn't checking. Like, he didn't check to see if the heater worked, or if the stereo worked, for that matter. And, you know, just like, those are things that, you know, you like to check as well. I can't remember if I tried the AC. I think I did in that one too. So, you know, it's little things like that another person might spot while you're, for example, driving the car or just looking it over. But yeah, anyways, at this point now, we're going to do the one thing, and whenever you approach a car, there's one thing you always want to do, and actually it's the first thing I like to do if it's a running car, for example, because this is like a used car, potentially a project car, but it's a running car, right? Is pop the hood, and which I'm going to do right now because I didn't push on the hood. Alright, now I'm going to come grab you guys and move you over here. Right about there-ish, or let's try there. Okay, so when you pop the hood, when you come up onto the car, the first thing you're gonna want to do actually is reach down and don't necessarily touch the engine, but just feel if you can feel some heat coming off the engine, because that's a telltale sign it was just running, and that they might be potentially hiding something, because there are some vehicles with problems out there that when you do start them, they'll knock, they'll tick, whatever, but then that goes away after it's warmed up. So that's something to look out for, right? And if you come across something like that, you're gonna have to question it a little bit. So yeah, like around the valve covers or even the top rad hose, that's a great spot to kind of just feel for heat. If it's cold, you're good to go, right? As well, when you're under the hood, take a look for any new parts that may not have been mentioned in the ad, or anything that might be look suspect under the hood, like bad wiring or something like that. Which, you know, if you see the house pigtails on something, run away from that car. Because honestly, that is sketchy wiring, or unless if you know how to wire, or your buddy knows how to wire a car, then okay. But you see that is a fire hazard, and it could light up at any moment when you're driving it. So, or even when it's just running. Because it wasn't designed for the jostling of going down the road, or even the vibrations of the engine for that matter. It's designed to be in a house, it doesn't really move, right? So there's that. And as well, when you're in here, check the fluids. You know, pop the rad cap off and take a look at the color and see if it's clean, if it's full, stuff like that. If it has power steering, check the power steering. Pull the engine oil dipstick and the tranny oil and the transmission fluid dipstick. If it's an automatic anyways, because not every car has a dipstick for the tranny. Like most stick shift cars that I've come across do not have a dipstick for the tranny. And yeah, beyond that, I don't think there's really much else under here to really look at too much, because that pretty much covers the basis of that. So now, let me close the hood. And I'm just going to move the camera. So this is a little different, I know, but bear with me here. There we go, that should be good. And okay, so there's also a couple of other things that you want to bring with you if you can, or if you remember about it. And one is either, you can get these at almost any auto parts store. It is a telescopic mirror that they're like $2-3, and so that you don't have to bend down and take a look on, especially if the ground is, well, you know, like wet like it is right here, or there's snow on the ground, anything like that, or you just don't want to get dirty. It's a great thing. Or if you actually want a record, like a mental recollection, say you're going to look at a couple of cars in a day, and you want a mental recollection of, okay, what did I actually look at? A selfie stick is a great alternative too, because the thing is, you can put your phone in this, you can set it to record, and you can go along the side of the car and look at the underside of the car, and then have a video recollection of that, which is pretty cool to do, honestly. I've never physically used a selfie stick. I haven't been, or even a mirror for that matter. I haven't had an issue of getting down in the dirt and, looking. But there are some people that don't want to do that. That's fine. I mean, and depending on what I'm wearing that day, might not want to. Like if I'm wearing this, hell no. And then as well, the other thing is a magnet. Now this is a telescopic magnet. You don't need one like this. You can just bring a house magnet, especially if the paint's really nice. You don't want to scratch their paint. But with the magnet, what you want to do, here, I'll just move you over here, is, okay, yeah, you can see that, is go along the body with it and just hit spots of it, right? Now, the thing is, if it sticks, you know that that's good metal. If it doesn't stick, you either know that A, that's fiberglass, or B, that is Bondo. Another way, if you forget, a magnet, just tap along. And if the sound drastically changes, like when you listen to my car when I knock on it, right? It's pretty much all the same noise. Then you know that it's all metal in there. And if there's any Bondo, it's just for finish work, which that's what Bondo is designed for. It's not designed to fill holes or dents. So, yeah, it's another telltale thing. And as well, and also I forgot to mention, when you're under the hood, obviously check for leaks and stuff like that, but that's pretty basic. But now actually, we can move on to the interior. Which, and obviously, my car's a mess right now. But the thing is, because I'm not selling my car, right, at the moment. And nor do I plan to sell this thing anytime soon. But if you are, if you're looking at a car and it's really, really dirty on the inside, there are multiple things that could signify. Either A, they didn't care, or maybe it's just a daily driver like mine and they're just getting rid of it and, they just need to clean it out, which that's fine. But that's something that needs to be clarified as well when you're looking at a car, right? But as well, while you're in here, you're going to want to check if everything works. Check for the windshield wipers, check for the sprayer, the windshield washer sprayer. Check the signal lights, check the lights. Check the brake lights, the reverse lights, the headlights. Make sure the marker lights work. Stuff like that. While you're in here too, you also want to check to see, does the heater work? If it has rear defrost, does that work? Does the front defrost work if it has that even? Because there are some cars out there that don't. Does the fan work? And something to do actually with the fan is go through all of its settings on the fan, because if you don't, what might happen is that, because mine honestly every now and then will actually, the bearing is going in it, so when it's on high it'll make a racket, but beyond that, it's all, it's fine. And it only does that sometimes, not all the time, so that's not always a telltale thing of something's wrong, but I know that issue, and yeah. But that's something to check too, just in case, because, taking a blower motor out of most of these cars is a pain in the ass. This one especially, you have to take the entire dash apart. It's annoying. But yeah, other than that, it's just basic stuff, like looking at the condition of the interior as well, and and just take a look, is there a bunch of garbage lying around, or is there, something else? And the thing is, my interior is a little bit more of a mess right now, and that's due to the fact that it's my daily driver, right? I drive this just about every day, and so, yeah. But then as well, when you start it, make sure the stereo is off when you start the car, just because you might not hear something over top of the stereo. So turn that off, start the car, and just listen, and see, okay, is there anything that sounds a little off? Is there a tick? Is there a knock? Or is there even just, say, a weird noise like a metal on metal sort of grinding or something like that, that could indicate a bad issue. And as well, when you're going down the road, again, have the stereo off, because you can hear a lot more with the stereo off versus it being on. So yeah, obviously that's a given, right? Yeah, other than that, oh, there is actually one more thing too, and I forgot to mention this while I was under the hood of the car. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated right now. I filmed this yesterday and totally botched the footage, so I lost 29 minutes of footage. I'm trying to do this a little quicker than yesterday because I didn't want a 29-minute video either, so there's that, but I was going to use it. But anyways, when you're under the hood, take a look at quality of parts under the hood that you can see. For example, like the oil filter. If you can see that from up top, take a look and see what brand is it. If it's a Fram filter, that could mean that whoever was caring for this car did not really care for the maintenance overall, because like Fram filters are really not that great. Because like I remember seeing this guy, he did a test and he took quite a few different filters out there and cut them open to see what's inside of these, right? He took, I think it was like 10 Fram filters, he took, I think 10 Wicks, 10 Napa Gold, and there was a couple others too in there. And he found out that the Fram ones actually, there was a few of them that had rust inside. They were brand new filters and they're rusty inside. Like, what's up with that? And also at the same time, that the inside a Fram filter, it's actually paper filter. So what happens when that actually gets wet from anything? It's going to deteriorate slowly, right? And you're just putting that all into your engine as well. Whatever that oil filter is actually doing is now being less efficient at that, because it's one thing for it to be a little clogged, but for it to be missing pieces, it's not a good thing. So yeah, that's another thing to look for. But yeah, and actually something else I should show you guys as well when looking for rust as well, because sorry, again, I'm so disorganized. Is, and especially when you're looking at an old car. Let me just put you guys over here. Tilt it up. Okay. And the thing is, when I do this on my car, because of the spoiler, and I don't have any struts, I actually have to hold it up with the, with the rod there. It's off of my jack. But anyways, while we're in the trunk, there are a few places to look, or even in like a hatch, for example, is like lift up the carpet. Obviously I don't have any carpet in my car. And take a look in the sills and stuff like that and see if there's any rust. Take a look at the spare tire well, see if there's any rust there. And yeah, those are just your main sort of points to look for rust. And as well, like if you see something that's a little suspect in the trunk, it's not, honestly, just address it with whoever the seller is. And if they say, oh, that's nothing, then honestly just walk away from the car. It's not worth it. If you suspect something that's bad, you know, talk to them about it. Don't just be like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. It's just like, not really. It's not. But yeah. So now I'm going to set you guys back up over here. Let me just close the trunk real quick. And that is about all for this video, I think. And as well, actually, very soon there's going to be a lot of work done to my car. I have had There is some things that I'm going to be doing, like, you know, I mentioned it in my previous video. The rear end's going to get swapped out. The transmission's going to get swapped out. She's going to get painted. I'm going to swap out the power steering rack. And so this thing is essentially going to be just about blown apart. And, which will be interesting to say the least. It'll only be able to get done in a day, don't get me wrong, but if there's any problems, well, I kind of SOL, it's my only car. So, yeah, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And, you know, if, what did you guys think about this video? And do you guys want to see more of content like this? Of informational videos that, you know, you don't necessarily, see that often? Or what do you guys want to see for content? And if I see another person ask me, because the thing is, I've been getting this a lot, of people asking me for cold starts. And I know what that's about. Stop doing that. Because I'm not going to do that. The thing is, I'll do a cold start as part of another video, but I'm not doing a straight up cold start because I'm not going to fall into the whole pedal pumping thing. So, yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, like I said, you know, if you can, leave some feedback down in the comments, or as well, just anything you want to say it down there. Not a big deal. And yeah, anyways, yeah, I hope you're staying safe during COVID-19, and good luck with whatever you're working on, and whatever you're doing, you know, stay safe. And for any of you, of my Canadian followers as well, that, just had Thanksgiving, you know, I understand with COVID not much happened, but did you do anything fun? Did you do anything exciting? You know, let me know down below. And yeah, anyways, I will chat to you guys later. Okay, and yeah, see you in the next video. Okay, bye! Pikachu!